I haven't even started.
Oh,
To be
goodness.
honest with you.
All right, AOA podcast back for another episode. We're talking to Ghislaine Maxwell. It's been a while since we discussed her. She got
Great.
tossed into solitary.
Really?
Yeah. Aubry Plaza is the big topic today coming off of the SAG Awards. So we'll discuss that. DeSantis versus Disney as the Reedy Creek District is no more. We'll discuss, of course, the lab leak, Chris Rock. This Kevin Hart topic might be the most fun topic that we have of the show. I'm looking forward to getting into that. And Hayden Panettiere's brother, of course, he passed away. Very sad, very unfortunate. And we have the cause of death, which we'll share with everybody all on this episode. Frankie C, the best smelling guy in podcasts, is here with us. What up, big dog?
The best smell. I mean, we're in different towns, so.
Yeah, but I know you smell good.
That's true. Kind of goes without saying, I guess.
Trust me, he smells great. Smells better by you than over here by me. All right.
They do smell pretty good. That's nice.
Yeah. There's actually two stories here with this Ghislaine Maxwell discussion. And one of them is that she got her rear end tossed into solitary confinement after giving that big interview a couple of weeks ago to 60 Minutes. Now, we didn't discuss that. She went out, did an interview. We did not discuss it. I kind of felt like it was her. The reason why we didn't discuss it is I felt like it was her like, woe is me. I'm the victim. I wish I'd never met Jeffrey Epstein. I only felt like it was furthering her cause of sympathy, which is why. And there was no news there other than
it was just, let's hear from her, which no, let's not.
Right.
So why was she thrown into solitary? Because of the interview?
Yeah, because of the interview, according to Daily Mail, they're the ones with the story here. The virtual sit down prompted an investigation as to whether or not she breached terms of her sentence and sold her story to the media. One source said that she was really upset, crying and yelling that she didn't receive any money, but nobody saw her again for 3 days. So they're saying that she disappeared into solitary confinement for those 3 days. Now, this dovetails with the other big story of the day regarding Ghislaine Maxwell, which is that she's going to be using her divorce settlement. Remember, we didn't know she was even married.
Well, that was a while ago. We didn't know that. But then the husband forked over money.
Yes.
Wasn't it like $24 million or something?
Scott Borgerson forked over that money. He had to pay her in the settlement, and she's going to be using that money to fund her appeal. This is what a source told the Sun just a few hours ago. That she's taking Scott Borgerson's money, and she's putting it towards an appeal to get a retrial. Yeah.
Well, if that happened, I wonder if they're, how do you present that? Like, what's the argument? Her argument? Like, she doesn't, you'd have to. I feel like for a retrial or something like, you have to prove that the first trial there was something wrong, right?
Correct.
So,
well, remember there was all that jury stuff. The one juror didn't answer the questions the right way.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that's right.
Which she lost all that stuff with the judge that was over.
Yeah, that overturned. Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
nothing happened there.
Yeah, I think she's going with the no, really, guys, I'm innocent.
Plea. I see.
Yeah.
Classic.
That's what she's going for. I mean, she had the A team of lawyers, right? I mean, she kind of had the dream team of people who get scumbaggy people off of cases like this, and they couldn't get it done. So
that didn't work.
Didn't work for her all that well. They're also still kind of carrying that narrative that she divorced Scott because she didn't want him to be associated with her. She was trying to like save him from that. And who knows how true that is. I'm not entirely sure. We do know that he tried to put up some money to get her out on bail, but she had no shot at bail given just her connection to Epstein and everything that he had done. So
yeah,
good amount of stuff to unpack there, but that's the absolute latest. She disappeared for 3 days. I'm sure the people are out there going to be like, they snuck her out, man. They let her out.
Well, I feel like if they snuck her out, we wouldn't hear. It wouldn't take 3 days. They wouldn't let that lapse like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean?
It makes sense that she took, because here's the thing with these interviews, they sell them. Whenever they go on the Today Show or even Barbara Walters, all these, for those big news story ones to like not famous people, they were paying for those things. So how are you not going to believe that they didn't fund money or funnel money to her some way, shape, or form? They could have paid him, Borgeson. They could have paid whoever to hold on to her brother, who's been vocal in her defense. They could have paid anybody for that interview.
I guess so. I was going to say, how would the news, like, what is that something they would have to show? Like, if the jail or the state or the government, whatever, wants to prove that she wasn't paid, they'd have to go to the news organization and say, who did you pay, right? Or did you pay? You have to prove that stuff.
Yeah. And I don't know where that falls with the news organization, because that's money and taxes and finances. I'm not sure, but I do know if you ask a news organization for a source, they do not have to tell you. They are protected under the First Amendment.
Source. No, it's not a source. It's where it's, did you pay this person for an interview?
They don't have to, I don't think they like. I think that's the same as going, hey, who got you the interview? And they could be like, I'm sorry, but that's a protected, that's a source. I'm not going to tell you.
Right there.
Journalists have gone to jail for that kind of shit in the past, so we'll see. Well, that's the latest on old Ghislaine.
Bet.
Mm-hmm. Aubry Plaza. Did you watch the SAG Awards?
No, but I caught the Aubry Plaza thing.
Yeah. Interesting, right? What'd you think?
Weird. I don't know exactly what made her like she had what made her react, but one of the co-stars pointed out her dress, but there was nothing wrong with her dress. She was fine. She was just standing there, and he pointed out something with her, and she like adjusted herself, but seemed okay. And then she like got caught off guard or something. Something happened, and she said something, that we couldn't hear. It was just a little strange, but there were 100 people on stage. I'm sure maybe she got knocked around a little bit in the back, because she was in the background of everybody. Maybe she got knocked into or something. I don't know. It was a little weird.
Yeah,
I thought she was funny with what's her name, with Wednesday, that was funny. That was a good bit.
Is that who she was? I didn't even know that's who that was.
Yeah, that's Wednesday. What's her name?
Wednesday Addams.
Right. Okay.
Always drove me crazy that they spelled Adams with 2 D's.
2 D's and Adams. Yeah.
Never cared for that.
Great show. She's really good in that show.
Yeah, is that a good show?
I'm in.
Isn't it for like teenage girls though? What are you doing watching it?
It's not for teenage girls. It's a good show.
Okay.
I don't know. It's got the whole family's in it. It's an Addams Family show.
Okay. What else you watching? Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
No, I never saw it.
Babysitter's Club?
That's a good show. No, I never saw that. I didn't even know that was a show. I thought that was just books.
I'm sure somebody made it a show. I took a shot. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Right.
I put the Aubry Plaza video out in the live chat in case anybody wants to watch it. But yeah, she was at the SAG Awards last night. She goes up on stage. She's wearing this X thing. I don't like the under boob X thing on women. Am I alone on that?
I think you're alone.
I never think it looks good to have this under boobage, tummy squeezing, just kind of push the boobs farther apart. Hey, this is what I don't understand. I wish we had Janine. And Cuddles is ignoring me. But my wife always complains about her boobs going out. She doesn't like it's always push in and up. That's the thing that's attractive. So now you have
the
this
new trend.
But you have this thing where it pushes out and down. And I don't think it's the opposite of what I've been told women are trying to achieve every single day.
Well, this didn't look out and down. This looked like pressed against her, pushed, maybe not down, just held in place kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems a little weird to me. I don't know. And then and the other thing too is, well, who wants to be doing this? Like, it's the same thing. I don't know why women wear strapless dresses. I don't mind looking at it, but all night this cannot be comfortable. Just this all night.
Tuxedos aren't comfortable. You're always fucking,
True.
all formal wear. I feel like it's all adjusting and moving shit around, and it's uncomfortable until the end of the night when the tie is off and the jacket's off and you just untucked and you're like, enough of this.
Yeah.
It's all evening wear is like that, I think.
Yeah, but women have to go through it a lot.
I'm sure.
I mean, they wear a lot more uncomfortable shit than we do.
Oh, absolutely. The heels alone, I can't.
And
heels.
I mean, outside of your marriage, barring you're getting nominated for an Oscar, you're not really ever going to wear a tuxedo ever again. You know what I mean? Like, how many times have you worn a tuxedo in your lifetime?
Wedding?
5? An average dude, how many times do you wear a tuxedo?
Yeah, probably maybe 5, maybe.
The over-under's got to be 4. I mean, and I'm taking the under every time.
Yeah, I mean, best, you're in the bridal party for a couple of weddings. You're the groom for one of them.
I forgot about bridal parties. You're right.
Other than that,
yeah.
If you go to a black tie gala,
they don't invite me to those. Yeah, I don't get invited to those.
I could see that.
Which is a shame too, because I have so many great black ties, Frank. You have no idea.
Do you?
I can go to a black tie gala every day of the year and never repeat a black tie once.
I don't think black tie means like literal black tie.
What?
I think it means tuxedo.
My whole life has been a lie.
It's not a suit with a black tie.
You can wear a white tie to a black tie gala?
If you're in a tuxedo.
Son of a bitch.
I think. Then again, I don't write these etiquette rules.
All right, do me a favor, get the Men's Warehouse on the line. I got to return a bunch of shit.
Hey, they'll guarantee it.
You'll like the way you look. Like, what happened to that guy? Where did he go?
I don't know. Maybe someone didn't like the way they looked, and he had an Amscray.
Somebody fucked him up.
Maybe.
You like the way you look. I guarantee it. Didn't he always talk like that?
Yeah. Hey, buddy, I didn't like this shit. What the fuck? You guaranteed it.
Yeah.
Too bad. Take it outside.
Yeah.
One thing leads to another, and no more guy that like guaranteeing.
I bet you that guy's dead, and we're like, people are like, he's dead, inconsiderate bastards.
That guy's sitting on a hill of like the way you look money.
Let me ask you a question. Don't lie to me, damn it. Men's Warehouse or Caraco suits?
Men's Warehouse.
Wow, bold move, big take.
The one time I went to Caraco's, it was just, I mean, not to put him down, but it wasn't Men's Warehouse. I'll tell you that.
It was not.
Whenever I've gotten any kind of,
I'm opening up a Caraco. It's no Men's Warehouse. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's no Men's Warehouse. Anytime I've gone to get like a suit or any kind of dressy clothing, I've gone to Men's Warehouse. They're always very nice and very helpful. To be fair, I've only been to Caraco's once, and they were a little not as good as as Men's Warehouse. In my
opinion. Up to the Men's Warehouse standard.
It could have just been my experience, my personal experience. I'm sure people have had lovely times at Caraco's. It just wasn't my day, I guess, when I went there.
It's weird about Caraco because it's like, I don't know if people know. I mean, I'm sure they have a discount suit place in their town, whatever it's called. But you roll into a Caraco and they're like, it's $300 for a suit. And you're like, oh shit, that's a little pricey. They're like, but you get 2 more suits for free.
Yeah. We'll throw in 9 suits,
3 shirts,
10 pairs of shoes,
6
a top
belts,
hat, this carriage with horse, and the bride. Here, we have a bride for you.
You can get a monocle if you need.
Whatever you need, it's all included in the price. So we got a couple of suspenders, some belts. What do you need?
I go in there. I go, why don't you just say it's 3 suits for $300 or $100 a suit? They're like, nah, it's not the way we do it. Same the Men's Warehouse. They told me.
No, that's true. It's not. To be fair, Men's Warehouse. It gets pricey. I'll give you that.
Now listen, if you expect to wear a suit more than 3 times, don't go to Caraco because it will literally disintegrate right off your body, especially the belts.
It's held together with Scotch tape.
Yeah, it really is. It's a rough situation, but that is kind of their deal. I was always fascinated with those places. 3 suits, 3 belts, 3 shirts. You know,
$99.
yeah,
He's
yeah, and
making
then
these things.
but you look at Caraco, and I always look at that and I go, somebody tried to start a karaoke company and was a little
There was a
dyslexic about it, and they were
Confusion
like,
over the phone.
yeah, they're like, let's just sell suits. It doesn't matter.
The bank thought you said karaoke,
Yeah,
and they approved that. So that I don't know, whatever.
so we're just gonna run with it.
You wanted karaoke, they misspelled it, and that's what happens.
Yeah,
I like
so
how Janine's in the chat, but not on the show.
I was just gonna ask, is she stuck in Minnesota? Is that true? Cuddles, can you confirm that?
She's supposed to come back yesterday morning, right?
Well, you know, it's funny that Aubrey Plaza is a thing, because Janine is our Aubrey Plaza, because I can't get Cuddles' attention. She is just not paying attention to me. Oh, that was too dangerously close. Is Janine still in Minnesota? No. She's lying. Janine's lying.
All right, so Janine's lying. She's home.
Yeah, Janine's lying.
And she just doesn't want to come on the show.
You know for sure she's home? Been confirmed? I won't tell her I'm talking to you. She's home. Yeah, okay, she's home. I got the my wife can't lie.
Lies.
She got a shitty lying face.
J-Sabs, what are you doing with us?
But yeah, going back to Aubrey Plaza, I can't know, because when I first saw it, I go, "Oh, she's pissed." I bet you, like, the co-star was like, "Hey, your titty's hanging out," and she was like, "What the fuck is this asshole's problem?" Because it really wasn't hanging out that much.
No, it was the same. It looked, from what I could see from the video, nothing looked out of place. Everything looked
right
the way it looked the whole night.
But then I thought, when I watched it a second time around, I go, it's hard to tell, because Aubrey Plaza is one of those, I'm going to do a practical joke on you. I'm going to do a bit on you, and I'm the only one that knows it's a bit. Just for kicks, just to have fun.
Yeah, but this didn't look like that. You're talking about her reactions? You think that was a joke she was? I think those were genuine reactions.
I think when she got pushed to the back there, she was kind of like, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make this a bit. I'm gonna make this a shtick.
I don't think. I'm sure she'll be interviewed within the next couple of days, and she'll clear it up somehow.
Well, so they said, because I was reading, they said that in the interview room afterwards, she was all smiles and giggling, and there were no issues.
I don't think there were any issues to begin with. I think she was just maybe someone knocked into her or something, and she just, I think she said. What did she mouth? She mouthed something.
They say it was kind of like Jesus Christ, but it kind of looked like Jesus fuck or something like that.
Yeah, maybe she got knocked back a little bit, or someone stepped on her dress. It could have been anything. I don't think there was any. I think whatever it was got squashed in that moment. I don't. From what I could make out in the video.
This is also true. Janine makes weird faces at the both of us for absolutely no reason, just like Aubrey Plaza.
That's true. So
there's a lot of parallels
and Janine
here.
were pulling a. Yeah, that's true. What's her name from the awards? Winona Ryder started the whole thing. Remember that?
No, I don't.
Remember when I think Stranger Things won, and Winona Ryder was on stage and she was making all these weird faces as someone was giving a speech.
Oh, really?
I think the director or someone, the producers. Yeah, she's on. It like stole the whole show, and it was like all anybody talked about for days.
And she was just doing it for shtick.
Just making these weird. She was just doing. She's just. I don't know why she was doing it, but she was just standing there, like making these weird.
That's why Fleetwood Mac
faces for like 5 minutes.
That's why Fleetwood Mac broke up, because they went out.
Winona Ryder?
No. Stevie Nicks and who's the guy? Lindsey Buckingham. They hadn't been on stage in years together. Then they all go out to give an award to somebody else. I forget who it was, like a Music Cares Person of the Year, some kind of shit. And Lindsey was just so excited to be on stage, and he was like jumping around behind them as they were giving their acceptance speech. And Stevie Nicks was like, I can't deal with this piece of shit anymore. She's like, I refuse to fucking play with him. And that was it. 40 years, they had a relationship together. They broke up. They still played. They wrote great all that time. And it was like 2019 or whatever it was. And he like jumped around a little bit. And she's like, fuck it, I can't take it anymore. It's either him or me. And they kicked him out of the band.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. There were issues before that day. It had to be.
100%. That was that was the cherry on top. That was the last straw.
Right. That's funny.
Yeah.
No, but you don't remember that Winona Ryder on stage?
I have to go look. I don't really remember it. Yeah,
look it up, because she's just standing there with like I don't know, 40 people on stage, and there's the guy giving the speech, and she's like to his right, on his right hand side, and she's just making weirdo faces. It's just the weirdest thing.
It's kind of her face though, anyway, isn't it?
I mean, she could just stand there and smile or talk or anything else, but she was just, making. It was very strange.
I have two questions now. Which one do you want to do first? The workplace question or the Winona Ryder question?
Winona Ryder.
Okay. Do you think Adam Sandler ruins leading ladies? Because when you look at it, there's not a lot of women that can star in a movie with him that then go on to continuously star in movies.
Oh, I don't think that's true. Jennifer Aniston is huge.
One.
Winona Ryder's still huge. She's in one of the biggest TV shows ever.
Is that right?
Stranger Things. She's
TV.
It's TV, but it's Netflix. You got who else? What's the one from Modern Family?
That's it. She never did any
Happy Gilmore.
She never did any other movie after Happy Gilmore. In fact, she looks so different from Happy Gilmore to Modern Family. It took me 4 years to realize that was the same person.
I know, that's true. What about Drew Barrymore?
Drew Barrymore, yes.
They're in like 5 movies together.
All right, hang on. 2, I think. Wedding Singer and 50 First Dates. And she's now hosting a daytime talk show. So how good is she doing, really?
They're also in Blended. They're in, let me see, there's more than 2.
She wasn't in Blended, was she?
Sure, I thought she was. Drew.
Oh, here we go. Live from Minnesota. Minnesota looks a lot like your usual set.
I pretty much took everything from here and then brought it with me to Minnesota.
Nice.
Oh, don't you know?
Sure.
I'm in Minnesota. See? I got some good stuff, man.
Yeah, she was in Blended.
Okay, so she starred in 3 Adam Sandler movies.
I love Aubry
That's
Plaza.
a big amount of Adam Sandler movies. Who doesn't?
Just off the top of your head,
me and her. Go ahead.
Without looking, without looking it up. Give me a second. I got to do something. Without looking it up, off the top of your head, who has starred in an Adam Sandler movie, arguably one of the biggest movie stars in the last 20 years, and then has gone on to have a superstardom movie career? Thanks for the call. I'm going to hang up and listen off the air.
To J Sabs.
That was to you, Frank, because I feel like you're doubting me, and also to J Sabs and anybody in the audience if they have an answer.
Jennifer Aniston's the big one. And we lost Anthony for some reason. So Adam Sandler
okay.
co-stars, female co-stars. We don't need him. What do we got? We got Drew Barrymore, I think, is a huge star and could be in any movie. Jennifer Aniston is a huge co-star of Adam Sandler's. Winona Ryder again. Who else? I can't think of any other of his co-stars from these movies.
I'm Googling it. Fuck him. Fuck him telling me I can't Google.
Yeah, what kind of rule is that?
What rule?
That we can't Google the co-stars because we can't think of them?
Yeah, really.
Because I think he's a leading lady killer. I mean, you go into one of his movies, you're not coming out.
What are you talking about? We just named
2. You said Adam.
We just named 3 of them.
Jennifer Aniston and Drew Barrymore, and I would argue that Drew Barrymore is now hosting a daytime talk show.
And she could be in any movie she wants. If she wants to be in a movie.
Wait a minute. The movie with him and Big Daddy, the girl in it, what's her name? Judd Apatow's wife. She's a big star.
Oh, yeah.
She's in a lot of stuff. And she was in a lot of stuff after with him. Right?
That's true, but she didn't co-star in that. She was like the 4th lead.
Oh, no.
Yes, she was. No. She wasn't the girl.
You're talking about the romantic interest?
Oh, maybe,
yes.
Maybe she wasn't.
You're talking about the love interest in Big Daddy was the one from all those like Empire Records and all that. I forget her name.
I feel like he doesn't have that many leading ladies
See,
though with him.
you can't even remember the girl in the fucking movie. That's how much
We gave you 3. How many other movies? Names, there's only a dozen movies that I could name, and there's 3 leading ladies, and 3 of those movies have Drew Barrymore in it. How many more do you want?
Who's 3? Judd Apatow's wife disqualified. She wasn't the lead.
Hold on.
Winona Ryder.
The girl in Who Be Halloween. That one?
I don't even know.
The girl
I don't even know what
from-
that is. Joey Lauren
Yes, you
Adams.
do.
Thank you, Joey Lauren Adams.
Oh, Joey
God.
Lauren. Okay,
From
there you
Big
go.
Daddy.
Great
Thank you,
example. Joey Lauren Adams had a budding career until she hit
she
Big
wasn't-
Daddy, and then done.
She wasn't that big before Big Daddy, so easy. She was. She had a bunch of movies, but they were like what's his name movies? Kevin Smith, and they were under the radar movies.
Don't call Kevin Smith under the
Salma
radar.
Hayek. Boom. Thank you, Robin and Sharon. Salma Hayek.
Oh, in from.
Put your theory right to rest. That's it.
All right, I'll give you Salma
Hayek can be in
Hayek.
any
That's a
movie.
good
She's
one.
an A-list actor.
Salma Hayek is a good one.
Who was he in
so what are
Punch
you
Drunk
talking
Love
about?
with? Punch Drunk Love.
Never saw it.
The girl. I don't
Punch-
even know. I don't remember this movie at all. I don't think I even saw this movie.
Emily Watson was the lead in Punch Drunk Love.
No clue.
I don't even remember that movie.
Okay.
Who was the lead in Little
There's
Nicky?
no real.
You know what? I don't even like him. I'm so neck.
know.
Oh,
But,
my name's Adam Sandler.
what's her name?
Oh.
How about in what's his name? Not Daddy's Boy or Daddy. The one
Yeah.
with Andy Samberg. What was that called?
Grandma's
That's My Boy.
Called that. No.
No, it was called
It
That's
was-
My Boy.
Yeah. That girl in it.
And it had what's her name in it? I'm blanking on her name, but she was in it. Tim Robbins' ex-wife. Come on, what's her name? Her and her daughter were both in it. Help me out in the chat. Tim Robbins' ex-wife, very famous.
Susan
Yeah, with the big
Sarandon.
eyes. Susan Sarandon. Very good. Janine wins.
Susan Sarandon, yes.
Listen,
Boom.
when you look at the amount of movies that guy has done,
What's
the
wrong with
amount of
that one?
leading ladies, his percentage is terrible. It's like 0.4% of the leading ladies who we've ever heard from ever again.
I think it's
You know what's
closer
funny?
to- Marissa Tomei.
Oh,
Anger
yeah.
Management, Marissa
Marissa
Tomei.
Tomei was in Anger Management. Boom. Your theory is so full of holes.
It is not
It's
full of
like-
holes. What
it's-
has Marissa
it's
Tomei
like-
done since
We're
Anger
naming all these
Management?
movies.
What she played fucking
She was
Aunt
in-
Meg. Aunt Meg. What was the fun in?
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
she's in Marvel movies. Number one, she was
Tiny nothing
what's it
roles.
called? In no, the one that was up for the I don't even know if it was up for the Academy Award. The Wrestler
I have to check the timeline on that. I don't know
with
which one came first.
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, I don't know which one came
Who
first.
came
though.
first? The
I'm
chicken
pretty
or the
sure
egg?
Wrestler came after.
All right. Anyone, we'll move on. Let's just you guys take the L on this. I'll take the W,
wrong.
and we'll move forward.
We just named 6 or 7 people, and you're wrong.
I know you. I get upset when I lose too, Frank. It's okay.
You're wrong.
Second question,
All right, we're moving on because you know you're wrong.
HR question. What's the etiquette on telling a coworker
Oh, boy.
your
Oh,
titties
God.
hanging out?
My what's it called? My asshole started sweating when you said. My asshole literally started sweating when you said HR. Go ahead.
Yeah, because when you look at it, they're technically coworkers.
That
The other-
comment alone is a call to.
No, I'm saying the
I
other
think
actor.
that comment alone is a call to HR, J Sabs.
But what do you like if
What?
you're a guy, you're on set
Yeah.
or you're in an award show, they just work together. Your coworker comes in and you could see the bottom of her pepperoni. Do you go, hey, you hanging
I
out
think you
there?
tell a female coworker. Can you tell her this?
Is that what you
you
got to
get
do? You got to
female
get a
to say
female
something.
coworker? Yeah, I guess so.
I don't.
You want to
know.
hear something
Maybe.
funny? Oh God! Oh God! This is a funny one. Or more.
They're also saying
embarrassing.
Kate Beckinsale in the chat. I don't know which movie that is. Go ahead.
Oh, what movie is that? Okay,
Go ahead.
so my titty wasn't hanging out, surprisingly, but this is embarrassing, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. I was wearing tight pants and I didn't realize it.
We're not gonna get the story, I don't think.
I don't know how to say it.
Censor it
And
as much as
someone
you can.
told me,
Or
someone told me, I think you better go check your my underwear had fallen down midway of my ass, and you could see it, and I didn't even realize it.
falling down midway.
Like
You don't have to. You don't
They
have
were
to go
too-
into detail.
they were too big on me, I guess.
Okay.
So they fell down and they were bunched up, and you could see it.
Were you wearing pants
I-
or shorts?
No, I was wearing pants.
Oh,
So who told you? A coworker?
No, my boss.
that
A
is
guy, your boss.
Yeah.
a lawsuit.
Okay, that's not good.
Male boss?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. See, I wouldn't. No, I don't think you say anything in that scenario.
No, you know what? I was glad. I was glad someone told me, because I went into the bathroom and I laughed for like 5 minutes of how bad it looked. I
That's fine.
I
but-
didn't even realize it. No. Tell me, please tell me.
I mean, I guess, but your boss pointing out something on your butt? I don't know.
I'll never
Or Your
forget.
underwear? Your underwears? I mean, come on.
I'll never forget. I was out shopping with my aunt and uncle one time,
Oh no.
and my uncle goes, "Oh no!" And I was like, "What?" He goes, "I think the elastic on my underwear snapped." So he goes to sit down, and he's wearing shorts. It was like in the middle of the summer, and you could just like from the bottom of his short, he like pulled like you could see his underwear just like hanging down.
That's a scene,
It
man.
was so funny. He was sitting down. We're like, "Come on, let's go. There's a special." He's like, "I can't walk around." That made me think of that.
That's
I don't know
funny.
how you tell that though. Like he must have been just staring at your ass. That doesn't seem like a comfortable thing to be told.
Clearly this guy was very comfortable with telling me anything.
That's weird.
Remember, he's the one who said, "Smells like coffee, time to shit."
Well, is it okay? Oh man, is it okay for a coworker to tell you your fly's open? Doesn't mean they're staring at your crotch.
Right.
Just means that they noticed that your fly's open. I don't know.
I've
if that's the
definitely
same
told
thing.
people that I work with, it's about to, your clam is about to come out.
Oh boy, that's something.
Oh God. Any other? Oh yeah, there was this lady, kind of crazy lady that I worked with too, and she used to wear this. I don't know. I still don't know what type of bra she used to wear. Sometimes, not all the time. It's still surprised J Sebs wears underwear. I knew I was going to get that comment. I fucking knew it. I was just going to call it too. I was going to say, "Are you surprised I wore underwear to work?"
No, you don't. No, as somebody who doesn't like the word moist or dunking cookies, I could see you being totally skeeved out by not wearing underwear.
Right.
I don't understand people who don't wear underwear. I think those are freaks. I think you need a solid pair of underwear to go out, no matter what.
Underwear. It's
key.
It helps. It's a helpful thing. to
Yeah.
have on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God. I just remember
I don't get it otherwise.
I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, maybe you should go look in the mirror, but in the back." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, go look at your ass in the mirror." I was like, you know what I really thought first, right?
You sat in something.
What
sat in
girl?
something?
What girl thinks some? If you're a girl, what do you think automatically?
Oh, like you got your period?
Yep. So I was like, "Oh God, please God,
I see.
don't let that be it. God, God, God."
You didn't say what? You didn't go, why? What's wrong?
No, I ran to the bathroom.
just went,
That's how-
okay.
I was embarrassed. I was like, "Oh my
Oh.
God." And then I literally laughed for like 5 minutes straight in there. And people heard me laughing in there. Because remember, the bathroom was like in the middle of the office.
Right.
They were like, "What were you laughing at?" I was like, So I told them, and then they started laughing too. It was pretty bad. Like,
I don't think
I don't
that's
understand.
bad. I don't think 99% of, maybe I'm being stupid here, Frank. You tell me, you're going to be the judge on this one. 99% of people
I don't have
would
to be the
not
judge.
have noticed that or realized.
This
Maybe not.
this
I
guy
don't know.
noticed everything.
Depends on everything else. I don't know how noticeable it would be. I really don't. How bunched up it is. How much it's making a difference in the overall look. You know, I don't know. No clue. Oh, and I
Yeah.
just thought of 2 more actresses, by the way. And you're
Well, you will not let it go. You lost. It's okay. It's not a big deal.
No, I'm telling
We
you.
all lose.
Selma
sometimes.
Hayek. We have Selma Hayek. What's
You're
her name?
repeating
Penelope
yourself.
Cruz.
Who?
Penelope Cruz.
What movie was she in?
Spanglish.
Oh my God, wait a minute.
Penelope
Cloris
Cruz was not
Leachman.
in Spanglish. That was the other girl.
She was.
No,
But
Penelope Cruz was
who
not
the
in
other one?
Spanglish.
I thought she was.
No, I'm not goofing with you.
All
Now.
right,
It's
who's the
the
other
girl
one?
who looks exactly like Penelope Cruz.
She looks exactly like her. Okay.
Yeah.
Her then. I don't know.
And
I
she's
thought it was
never.
Penelope Cruz. She's not.
Yeah, we've never heard from that poor
Oh,
young
Paz
lady ever
Vega.
again.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Paz
I
Vega.
didn't finish. I didn't finish what I was saying.
Leone.
About
Taya
that.
Leone.
Crazy lady. So she wore this bra, and like a few times, like the people who sat near her told me, they're like, Janine, you could see her nipples clearly. She doesn't have the bra on correctly. And I was like, ah. Oh. And then again, it happened. And they're like, what do we do? I'm like, I'm going to tell her. So I was like, Lori, oops. I could see,
I
I
think
was
it's
like,
different for
listen,
women.
I could see your nipples. And she was like, oh, really? Oh, well.
You got to whisper that like a creeper. You got to go, I can see your nipples.
No, she don't care.
Yeah.
She doesn't care.
I don't know what kind of a fucking freak show you used to work in. That seems nuts to me.
This is
It's
the same
different, I
lady.
think, from-
No, just to give you a little reference. This is the same lady who brought in the turning hot dog machine and would make it in the middle of the office. Hot dogs.
And that's weird. That's fucking weird. Now, let me ask you a question. How do you wear a bra so incorrectly your nipples show? Is it that it was just underneath, or was she just a special kind of a person?
I think it was I think it was too big and underneath.
Were the cups in the back?
I don't think we still don't know what kind of bra that was.
I can see your nipple, and there's 2 huge lumps on your back. You gotta turn that around.
You got 2 loops in the front, 2 loops in the back, cups in the front. You got the A.
Oh, you know what's
B.
mean? This is gonna be horrible. But her son used to work there, and he was chubby, and he had like boobies, right?
Mm.
Oh God. So we said and by we I mean me. I said, I bet you her son knew how to put the bra on better than her. Maybe he should just wear it.
Don't.
My favorite part of that story was you go, someone said, knowing full well it was you who said
I know.
it. And then you cop to it eventually. Frank, the fly open, do you want to know, even if it's an embarrassing person telling you?
Well, I don't think it would be embarrassing. Whoever tells me, I think it would be okay. Who would I be embarrassed by telling?
Let's say it's the CEO of the company.
Yeah, I'm sticking out in their mind. You're not gonna forget Fly Guy.
Hey, Fly Guy. There he goes.
Hey.
Yeah, I want to know immediately. I don't care who it is. I don't care how weird or embarrassing it is.
Yeah, I want to know too.
Yeah, let me know.
Because it's one weird or embarrassing person versus like 19. Like that's the worst when somebody's like, hey, your fly's open. And then you go, I went to the bathroom like 2.5 hours ago and I've been walking around for a little while here.
It's been a while here.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a strange scenario.
Oh, I've told my boss too, because he used
What
to
if someone
forget always. He was notorious for that.
For leaving his fly open?
I used to be like, you better check yourself again. And he'd be like, oops.
I could see once.
No,
twice
he had a
maybe,
problem. And also, I
keep
saw
doing
him
that?
say a lot more vulgar things to him, I'm sure.
Oh, good. What can you say? Like if a coworker, if you notice that a coworker has bad breath,
Oh,
can you tell them?
oh, no, that's a tough one.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, because what if it's a person who has to meet with clients or something, and you don't want them to. They're representing the company. You don't want them to embarrass themselves. And you're gonna be meeting with these people. Hey, I guess you maybe offer them gum or something. Or
Yeah.
Tic Tac.
You just say, "Do you want a mint or you want a piece of gum? This gum flavor is amazing.
No.
Try it."
Yeah. And they go, no. And you go, nah, take it.
Yeah. We could do that too.
That's the move, right? No. Yeah.
Well, if you don't have
maybe you
anything,
should.
what if you don't have anything? Not everybody carries around gum or Tic Tacs or something.
I think you go get it.
It's rough.
I think you got to do it.
Moment.
I think you have to give it a couple of tries at the old gum maneuver before you actually have a sit down conversation. Be like, your breath stinks like shit.
It's killing me. And I mean, if they're just going back to their office, they're never going to be seen again for the rest of the day. That's one thing. But if they're like talking to everybody, I think something's got to be said. It's delicate though. I don't know if you can get away with it.
Tough thing.
The person going to be like, "How dare you?"
It's a tough situation. Here's what's not tough. You can become a member, support the podcast for as low as $2.99 a month. That is less than a pack of gum.
Oh,
You can't even get a quarter of an eighth of an egg for $2.99 these days. But you could support your favorite podcast. Those are facts.
True. Less than this costs.
How much? How often do you go to BJ's or Costco? You got huge gum packs, there's massive Snapple bottles.
I have a lot of props sitting around me. You don't know. I got things all around that my go-tos. You think I'm kidding?
Let me ask you a question.
This is a mixer.
What is that?
This is like when you mix like cake batter with.
Yeah, no, I know what it is. Why is it?
Spatula.
Why is it in here?
Don't worry about it.
All right, here's a question. If you have really stank breath
oh God.
and you're at home, what do you do?
Brush your teeth.
You get up and brush? Do you put some gum in, or do you just sit with it?
Brush my teeth. If it's stank breath and myself or the people around me cannot stand it, yeah, then you brush your
I
teeth.
would use Listerine.
Or that. You do something to your mouth. I don't know. Gum, sure, if it's handy, but if you're home, you might as well just hit the bathroom.
I'd probably just go get a soda. I'm like, maybe some soda will change this up a little bit.
Gargles.
Sugar. Frank gargles with Snapple.
True.
I got to tell you, you know whose answer I hate the most is Janine's. She's going to walk all the way to the bathroom and just
where else you brushing your
Listerine
teeth?
instead of why don't you just brush it your whole way fucking there? You might as well just brush them.
It's a
I
process.
feel like toothpaste smell does not last as long as mouthwash.
I'll tell you what, a mouthwash feels a lot cleaner, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
True.
Plus, I don't really like I'm one of those people who gags while they brush their teeth.
Mm.
You know?
That's what she said. I don't know.
So I don't know. I don't.
All right. Speaking of
If you're
gags,
home, you just here we go.
Disney versus DeSantis. This has been ongoing for the longest time.
What
What?
a dick.
I said, what is this?
So Ron DeSantis, remember this happened with the I don't know what the bill was actually called, but it became known as the Don't Say Gay bill. And then everybody wanted Disney to respond, and then Disney didn't respond, and then Disney finally responded, and then nobody was happy. This is why I don't you can't negotiate with terrorists / liberals, because
Will you stop it?
if you do
Really?
something
Really?
and then they're like, well, you should have done it 3 days ago. And then you're like, all right, well, then there's no fucking way.
Well, you're a big proponent of that. Oh, it's too the whole Chris Rock, Will Smith thing. Oh, he didn't apologize the right way. He took time. It was on. It wasn't to it was all for the show, for the cameras. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Tell me
but
I'm wrong.
I'm not annoying.
Oh, okay.
But that's what happened. And then Chapek was the CEO and he didn't respond fast enough. And then he responded, and then nobody liked his response. And everybody said it was too late and blah, blah, blah. And they had a battle. And then DeSantis, who has been eyeing a run for president for the longest time, said, I'm going to take on these Disney fat cats and do this whole thing. So little known to anybody on the planet other than Disney adults, which are their own breed altogether. There's this thing called the Reedy Creek District, which actually, like, I think this is the stupid. Can I just say this? This is the stupidest thing ever. Like, they get to govern themselves, Disney. Really, what it comes down to is the fucking fire department and the trash collection. I mean, that's all
it is.
This fucking thing ever really did.
They have to abide by the same laws everybody else does. It's not like they're their own country or anything.
Correct. People act like this is huge. And listen, it always made for a fun trivia thing. Like, do you know that Disney's in charge of its own, district and can set taxes and this and that? They don't all this.
And now all this is going to fall on the taxpayer. All the garbage and shit is now the taxpayers in Florida are going to have to pay for it.
Well, it's hard to tell because DeSantis said that it won't.
Okay.
Disney lost a couple of things, most notably the ability to appoint people to the town board or the district board, which again, it's not like, I mean, I think they're going to appoint like 2 people out of 5 or something like that. So it's not going to drastically change too much. And the biggest thing they lost, I swear to you, the biggest thing that they lost is the ability to put a nuclear power plant on Disney property, which was something that was put into the bylaws of the Reedy Creek District back in 1968 or whatever.
God.
When they were first putting it all together, they were like, well, we have to figure out a way to power this thing. And back then, there was no solar. Nuclear was the best way to do it. So they put in there that they could do that. In no way, shape, or form ever was Disney going to be like, we're going to build a nuclear power plant now in the middle of Central Florida.
It's so stupid. This is the definition of playing politics. I'm Ron DeSantis and I'm taking on Disney because they're taking advantage of us. It's like, go fuck yourself. No one's doing anything. And if I were any other state, even remotely close to Florida, I'd be calling Disney right now. Say, hey, come on over. We got room for you. Move your whole park.
I mean, it's a strange thing because Disney is, and DeSantis knows this, like, Disney is not just going to up and leave. So that's the card that he played.
They certainly could. I was talking about this with Aaron before. It'd be a drop in the bucket in terms of paying for it to leave. Moving all their shit, I don't think it would cost. It would put a dent in what they make.
Wait, I did not listen. What does he want Disney to do?
He wants jurisdiction over Disney.
Like, he wants to make their decisions, basically.
Right now, the Reedy Creek District has jurisdiction over Disney, and they're basically run by Disney. So they're deciding themselves, like, when their trash gets picked up.
It's like they're a town.
It's like
they're a town. They have their own mayor and all that shit, but
their
they're
municipality,
not their own government.
Right,
like
they're
correct.
still under the same laws.
Correct. They still have to
the Vatican's
abide
their own
by
country.
I know. I'm saying they should be like the Vatican.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Well,
they don't even have that sweet of a deal. Like, they still have to abide by state laws and federal laws. Like,
yes,
I bet they get to do a lot what they want to do, though.
Well,
Disney.
they get to decide because, I mean, they're it in that area. I mean, it's them. Like, if people live there, okay, so people then have to pay a tax or trash collection or whatever. Like, it's literally just trash at a fire department. Like, I can't stress that enough.
It's politics. It's DeSantis running for. He's governor right now, but I'm sure he's gonna run for president, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, I took on Disney, and I won," and that's gonna be one of his talking points. When if I were Disney, I'd be on the phone with any other state, being like, "You got room for us?" Well, could you imagine if Disney left Florida? Orlando would collapse. It would be like ridiculous. The tourism that
still have Universal.
They bring them along too. The whole thing. Everybody, let's go.
Here you go. Disney had the ability to levy taxes, issue bonds, exert control over public services such as police and fire department, and even build its own nuclear plant if the district wanted to. The bill left the district's debt obligations and other financial structures intact. DeSantis vowed at a press conference earlier this month that the change would not result in any additional tax burden the Floridians. He couldn't touch that because if he did, he would have to raise taxes. There's no state tax in Florida because Disney pumps so much money. Disney, this big in the state, this big, allows every citizen in that state to not have to pay a state tax.
That's crazy, right?
Why he would even fuck with that honeypot is beyond me. But he did it. I will say this. He found a slick way to make it look like to his base, he pushed the big corporate cats around when in actuality, I mean, he did almost next to nothing. I mean,
so he's picking a fight with Disney for just so he can go on his, whatever bullshit tour he's going to do and go say, oh, we took him on and we won. It's like, well, did you?
He is going to repeat this over and over again from now until November of that's 2024.
Because it's important. You got to fight wokeness. Get the fuck out of here.
That's
what is everybody's problem with wokeness? I don't understand it.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's just inclusive. It just includes everybody. That's all wokeness is. You want to include everybody?
No, it's not. It's bullying people.
No, it's not bullying. Stop it.
It is. It's bullying people.
You shut your mouth. It's not.
All right, the lab
dare
leak.
You.
I've said this before, and I will say it again. I don't understand what the rush to judgment was during the pandemic to figure out where this came from, nor how much of a difference it really makes if this came from some market versus some lab leak. Like either way, I this is how I feel. You guys can obviously react to it. Either way, you have a Chinese government that irresponsibly handled this initial outbreak, which this could have been contained to one country and wasn't. So to me, it's apples and oranges how it was done. Now, I know people are going to be like, well, we were funding it and all this and that. Listen, I have no problem with funding research for these things, and accidents are going to happen, but it's important that precautionary valves are put into place so what happened didn't happen, and that is what I have a bigger problem with. You can't stop researching and funding research for this kind of shit, even if you are causing it and keeping it under wraps. Like, because the same people that bitch and moan and go, well, why are we funding gain of function research? We shouldn't be fucking around with it, are the first people that are going to complain when the next big thing comes around and we are zero prepared. Absolutely. They're going to be like, well, why wasn't our government like looking into this kind of shit? It's like, well, that's what
bitch and moan when we do.
That's what gain of fucking function is. It's, it's creating these issues to see if you can control them.
Right.
So I'm okay with that. But anyway, I don't get it all. I don't get why. And again, we were part of the shadow banning process. The media, everybody lines up. I never understood any of it. I don't think it makes much of a difference. I understand it was a little heated and you don't want to hear that your own government was responsible for part of this outbreak. I get that. But at the end of the day, like I said, that was a tiny part of an overall huge failure, mostly by the Chinese government for not disclosing any of this and letting people know what was going on.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's good. All right. All in all, I mean, we didn't really learn the lab leak. We kind of figured it was something like that. I feel like everybody was kind of thinking. Yeah.
Well, it always made more sense. And again, you can go back to past episodes of this. I don't understand why there was such a need from the media and all these people to protect this lab leak theory. I don't get it.
Who was protecting it? I feel like it was
everybody. Fauci, CNN, MS, everybody was like, oh no, you can't say that. It came from the market, or it came from, whatever, biting, whatever.
I gotta be honest. I don't remember seeing anything like that.
There was
oh, sure. Now
there was an 8-month period where if you said this came from a lab leak, people jumped down your throat.
100%. I think there were people saying I think what people would jump down people's throats for was it intentional?
Well, we'll look back at all the Fauci versus who's that douchebag? Rand Paul. That's what he was saying. And everybody, if you took Rand Paul's side, everybody was like, well, you're an asshole.
He is an asshole. But I think the argument was it was it done on purpose? That was the argument. And people were like, well, no, you can't assume, you could investigate it, sure. But everybody was like, stop. It wasn't done on purpose. It affected their own people. It affected the whole world. It wasn't like they dropped it on us. It wasn't a strategy. It didn't seem that way. If you looked at all that happened in the aftermath, how could something like that have been done on purpose? That was the initial reaction when people say, it was a leak, because people were like, no, it wasn't on purpose. It was, if it was a leak, it was accident.
So you don't think it's a possibility that it could have been done on purpose?
Anything's possible, but I don't think, just based on the fact that it spread in their own country, in China first, and it killed all people, their own people. If it was something done on purpose, it would not have affected them as much. I think they would have maybe had some kind of control over it, a little.
I remember saying at the time, and it's my same reaction right now, is I can't even talk about this because we'll just never know. We will never, ever, ever know if it was intentionally.
Maybe Netflix will make a documentary about it in a few years.
That's true.
I gotta be honest.
Let me reform. We'll never know until Netflix makes a documentary on it, and then, much like Firefest and all their other great pieces, we'll find out.
Yeah,
I got to be honest. This whole time, I thought it was a lab leak. I thought that was the story. I didn't think it was anything other than that.
I didn't think it was.
When this came out, I was like, yeah, we knew this. I didn't know this was such a, because I that's all I heard was it was a Wuhan lab, it was a lab in Wuhan that it got out from there. I was like, yeah, we know this.
Because again,
what story is this?
Either way it comes about, it's still China keeping it from the rest of the world, and the World Health Organization helping them, which fucked us all up. Because if they would have been like, holy shit, we have a problem, then at least you could shut down that whole country and hopefully prevent it from
getting out.
I get that, but I feel like we knew. Like I remember there was no cases there was a time when there were 0 cases in America, and we heard about it going on in China, and then it happened here, and we were like, oh shit, it wasn't like we found out until it was here already. We knew it was coming here.
Yeah, but that's different though, because we had no idea how bad it was in China by the time that we were hearing about it, and that's because they were stifling reports. That is so true. Because
the people in charge were told it was a serious problem and ignored it.
He's talking about Trump.
True.
Well, I mean, we knew it was in Italy, and we were talking about it in Italy for weeks before we ever thought.
Wherever it was, before it got here, I'll say it, Trump was told this is a huge problem and it's going to cost a lot of lives. Minutes. And he said, no, it's going to go away like magic. It's going to disappear. You'll get 14, 15 people who will get it, and then it'll disappear. When the summertime, when the heat comes, it'll be fine. It'll disappear. And then he treated it like it was nothing. Nobody took it seriously, and that's how it spread. So when you talk about who deceived who,
I think it spread way before we even knew it was here. Like, it was confirmed. I think a lot more people had it before it was even confirmed that one person had it here.
Yeah, well, we know that now, right? Because people donated blood and it came up positive in there.
Right.
In their blood.
Was back in January?
Yeah, well, we knew about it in December.
Yeah.
We knew about it. That's because it was 2019. It was COVID-19.
But still, I mean, my point is, and I think we're in the territory now where, how like after a plane crash, it's like the safest time to travel because everybody's like, holy shit, we better double check all these things.
Thanks for saying that. I have to get off the plane yesterday. Go ahead.
All right. It's the same thing now, though. Like, you don't have an incident in any lab anywhere in this world right now that won't be like, all right, we got to fucking shut shit down because nobody wants to go through what we just went through for the last 3 years.
I agree.
I just don't think that happens. Whether they did it intentionally or not, again, I don't have no way of knowing. Cuddles brought up an interesting.
Who would know?
Cuddles brought up an interesting theory to me that's floating around the internets. Oh, I can't remember if it was hers or if it was floating around the internet. But
Give her credit anyway. Give her credit anyway.
I'll give her credit anyway. But there's this interesting theory about how, do you remember when China adopted this whole, like, you can only have one kid
Yeah.
in 1980? And now that's kind of left them with it's like us with the baby boomers, like how you have too many old people, not enough young people. That's kind of where China was. And this thought of like, well, maybe they put this out there because they knew it was going to take out old people and not really affect young people, and it would even out their
That's very. I mean, it's very cynical, but I hope not.
I said the same thing. I hope not too, but here's the thing: China is not exactly the most open. And the other thing I said too is they're not necessarily opposed to just killing people. You know, I mean, it's not that big of a deal to just go and just kill a bunch of people and cover it up.
I mean, if they wanted to release something, that's something that, again, that didn't just affect themselves; it affected the whole world. There's no benefit. I feel like.
Who's to blame, Frank? Is it China? Is it the lab leak? Is it Trump? Is it Bill Gates? Who are we going to be mad at?
It's everyone. I don't know.
Everybody's rolling on it.
It's a whole big thing. I can't. I'm so tired of talking about the fucking COVID. It's been 3 years of this. I can't. It got leaked from a lab. We all knew that. It came from a lab. How are we ever going to know if it was unintentionally? There's no way for us to know that. That I know of. And everybody, our government mishandled it at the time. When it first came out, we mishandled it. That was it.
J-Sabs, does it change anything for you knowing where the fuck it came from?
I mean, I always thought it came from there anyway. I really did. I wasn't.
Me too. I was under that assumption. I was like, yeah, I thought this was old news.
Again, then why the whole thing to stifle that sort of conversation from happening?
What stifle? That's what I always thought it was.
Yeah, but the thing is,
stifled.
People knew it, but they weren't allowed to say it. That was the whole thing.
I feel like we've said it a lot. I thought we've said. I honestly was like, I thought that's where it came from. When I saw this story, I was like, how old is this story? I feel like we knew this. I don't know.
Hayden Panettiere's brother.
Again, there was that whole bat thing. I'm sorry. There was that whole bat theory. Right?
That it came from a wet market.
It came from bats. Yeah, there was that. But I feel like that was just another. They were all theories. I mean, we didn't. I guess this is the confirmation. It's 100% knows. All right. So then there it is.
And what's so funny too is, and again, because science changes, is what people. That's I guess was my point from the beginning, is that science changes. Who knows if a bat didn't bite whatever the fuck that ate the other thing and then shit out on caused the airborne. Like, and then they go, no, that's not possible. I was reading this fascinating thing about the telescope, the Webb telescope there, that they're finding all these new galaxies and stars and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Michio Kaku, he's like one of the biggest physicists in the world. This guy.
Nice. It's a funny name.
What's his name?
Kaku.
Michio Kaku. He goes, yeah, we thought the universe was like this much old. It might be like 40 times that. Like, we don't really know. It's like, so you know nothing. You fucking know nothing. And nobody's going to get upset at you. We're taking guesses at stars and galaxies and times and all this crazy shit. But this telescope is finding so much that books and shit that they wrote like even 4 years ago now are just like, means nothing. It's wrong. It's all incorrect.
I don't know if it means nothing.
Yeah, it means nothing. And it was funny too, because I was reading this thing and it was like, oh, Michio Kaku's written all these great books and they're all incorrect now. They're basically all based on one thing and they're all incorrect.
That's all right.
The laws are pretty much the same, but the discoveries change. Yeah, but I forgot about the whole bat thing. But yeah, there was the bat and there was the lab. I thought it was I don't know. I do remember thinking, yeah, it was, when you said marketplace, I forgot about the bat thing. That was a big.
But that was the thing that they pushed on everybody. They're like, it never came from a lab leak. It came from a wet market. And I'm kind of like, I don't even know how you can make that fucking statement right now. By the way, and the reason why it was because China was never going to let anybody get in there and fucking study the facts to begin with. So how is it? I mean, that's why it was never really worth, fighting over. Anyway, Hayden Panettiere's brother, 28 years old, dead. Today, the coroner released the early autopsy findings. His sudden passing was due to cardiomegaly, an enlarged heart coupled with an aortic valve complication.
Mm.
Fucker just dropped dead like that. Isn't that fucked up?
Sorry, I got the vaccine. What?
Enlarged heart. No, but listen, I feel like you hear this all the time whenever some young person just drops dead. Isn't it about time we start testing out these heart sizes? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, size matters.
At 10, 12? Like, why don't we start measuring these fucking things? Why don't we make that part of the yearly fit? Remember when you were in high school and like, you got to go for a physical and you're like, okay. And like, I don't know about you, but in my mind, I was like, I'm going to run an obstacle course. They're going to hook me. I'm going to have like 1,000 things coming off of me. It was like, stand up straight. Can you lean over? Can you push this? Can you do that? Okay, you're done. I remember thinking,
open your butthole with your fingers. It was very easy.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm about to go play ice hockey for a high school team. This is that was the test to see if I could fucking handle it. It seemed very inadequate to me.
Hey, 20 years before that, the doctor was smoking a cigarette in your face, probably.
That is true. Those are the good old
drop
days.
your garage and turn and cough. All right.
Those were the good old days. Anyway,
good old days.
R.I.P. Hayden Panettiere's brother.
All right.
All right, two quick things here. Chris Rock is doing a live Netflix special this Saturday.
Ooh.
From where?
That is a great question.
Oh, speaking of him, my friend went to, I forgot what restaurant in the city, and it was Chris Rock, Jimmy Fallon, and the SNL producer guy. What's his name?
Lorne Michaels.
All three of them were sitting at a table eating. So I wonder if they were doing something. Are they doing something, or are they just hanging out?
Wait, who was it? Lorne Michaels, Chris Rock, and who?
And
Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I bet Chris Rock will probably be on Jimmy Fallon's show to plug this thing.
Yeah.
Where is it going to be? In the city or no?
I'm trying to see from where it's from. But anyway, I brought it up because...
Wait, it's Netflix? It's going to be Netflix or no?
Netflix, yeah. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I wonder how that's going to be. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. I'm like, how's that going to be?
What'd you say? Say it again.
Sorry, I said I keep cutting you off. I'm just thinking out loud. How are they going to do that live on Netflix? Because I've never seen that.
Well, if you remember, Chelsea Handler had a live show on Netflix.
I don't remember.
There was a late night. She did her late night show on Netflix for a little while, and then she quit comedy and decided to just hate Trump for 3 years. But we all make our choices. I don't know where it's coming from. It's just, it is the first time that Netflix is going to stream a live stand-up special. And I got to tell you something. Like I put it on the rundown here of the show for a reason, because I fucking love this. Like, there's a lot of comedy specials out there. There's nobody who's doing it live. That's pretty ballsy.
It is ballsy. I mean, whenever you see a comedy special, it's usually an amalgam of like 5 or 6 shows that they just throw together. It's all different cuts and they take the best stuff from each show.
Right.
Correct.
They jumble them together. This is just going to be one show. That's it. You get one shot.
You get one shot. That's it. Baltimore, Maryland, Janine.
Okay.
So he's going to be in Baltimore, Maryland.
Me.
Cool. What time is it there on Netflix?
7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern.
It'll lead right into Saturday Night Live.
Well, guess what? That if it doesn't break it. If it doesn't break Netflix.
You got to think a lot of people on Netflix are going to be too. Like when I saw that, I was like, I am going to watch that. I just want to see it live. That's exciting to me.
That is pretty cool.
The last time I want to say like Andrew Dice Clay from Madison Square Garden was like, and that was 90 whatever. Maybe the last time I heard of a live comedy special.
And that was like pay-per-view when they did like boxing and all these events and stuff.
Yeah. Was it HBO or pay-per-view? I don't know, but you're right. It was like a big special thing. I think this is going to change the game and force some people to do this in the future. Because Frank's right. They'll tape 4 shows and just edit them all together to get the best thing.
Speaking of SNL, Woody Harrelson, I heard something happen on his monologue. I missed it though.
This past weekend he was on?
Yeah, he had a rant. Am I I didn't even
Oh, I didn't see it.
Somebody in the live chat will have it while we get that. Kevin Hart. I just found this to be funny. Kevin Hart was trending on Twitter, #2 today. Actually, just an hour or so ago. You saw it?
Anyway.
I heard, but why was he?
He tweeted, "Can somebody help and tell me why I'm trending?" He had no fucking clue.
Well, it's weird. My wife and I, we literally just watched a movie of his on Netflix that we didn't even know existed. Was it Netflix? No, it's on Amazon Prime. Didn't even know it existed. It's called Die Hard. Did you ever hear
Really?
this? It's him. It's Kevin Hart playing himself, and he has to go to he wants to stop doing comedies and being the sidekick, and he wants to be the lead action guy. So he goes to an action training school, and the teacher is John Travolta. And it's like a school that he taught like all the big action stars. They all went to his training school, and it's Kevin Hart training to become the lead action hero. It wasn't bad. It was one of those. Yeah, it's all right. There's a lot of holes in it, but it's like all right. There's stuff just for the sake of jokes. Like no, this would never happen, kind of thing. But it's Kevin Hart being. It's a comedy. It's obviously him and John Travolta being funny. It was pretty good. It was all right.
I'd love to get him back hosting the Oscars. I think that would be great. Him and Chris Rock should host. Post
the Oscars.
Post. You hate gay people. Gate. Yeah, that'd be great.
Didn't they ask him and Chris Rock said no, or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, probably. They never went back to Kevin Hart though.
Yeah, they should.
I just found that funny. Kevin Hart tweeted, "Can somebody tell me why I am trending? I got endless memes being sent to me from my damn friends, and nobody has any idea." So I thought that was pretty funny.
That is funny.
Let's see. Woody Harrelson. Does anybody have it? SNL Live. Woody Harrelson was epic dump leftist. Went into meltdown.
Okay.
I need some more info on that.
Woody made veiled reference to lockdown being dumb, says Paul. But he was stoned and incoherent in general. Okay.
That's Woody Harrelson. That's my man.
He's gonna be stoned.
I saw a thing on CBS Sunday Morning with him, and they were in his like dispensary in LA. I forget what he called it. It was some pun on wood though. And they were like, "You like weed, don't you?" And he's like, "Yep." I think that was
sure shit do.
That was the clip.
I like my weed.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
And then they're like, the interview, I think it was Anthony Mason, who I love more than anything. And he's like, "And you're like a vegan too?" And he's like, "Yeah." And it's just like Woody Harrelson is literally the dude from The Big Lebowski. That's just the kind of life he's living. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. He's just, which is kind of amazing because, again, when you think about it, and he said this in the piece, he did Cheers, which was the biggest show on television for the longest time. He was on it, and nobody gave a shit. Like, nobody was like falling over to get him or put him in a show.
Not true.
Or put him in. No, he said it. He said back then nobody went from TV to movies.
I thought he was great in it.
Everybody said he was great, but they didn't give him. They never made that jump. When you think about it, when did Woody Harrelson really hit in movies?
That's a good point. That's a good.
I know
point.
what.
I'm trying to think
what Kingpin.
His jump into movies was
before
Kingpin.
that.
Really?
Kingpin.
Come on, this one's kind of easy, but it was still way after Cheers, which is the point.
I don't like Cheers.
Harrelson.
I know I'm weird. I just
Before Kingpin.
Before Kingpin, yes.
I don't know why I'm blanking on it.
My wife just guessed The People versus Larry. Big one, but not the first one.
That's a good guess, but no. Natural Born Killers.
Natural Born Killers. And shortly, I don't even know what the time is, but it was Natural Born Killers and
got me. Hustler.
I don't know.
White Man Can't Jump.
Alicia got
White
it.
Man Can't Jump.
Jump.
Oh, White Man Can't Jump. That's
what put him on the map.
That's such a good movie.
Oh, and
Love that
Indecent
movie.
Proposal, yeah, which that movie still fucked me up to this day. I can't watch that movie.
So he did a lot of good movies.
Yeah, but those were like
He's
Indecent
out there, man.
Proposal
He
was
was
not
doing it.
huge. White Men Can't Jump was like an
Sure
anomaly.
was.
No, but I mean, no, I don't think anybody was like, "Oh yeah, Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, we're gonna have a blockbuster on our hands." I don't think anybody was expecting that.
I think it became that. I think it became that big though.
It was, yeah, of course, massive. It's getting a remake, which is fucking heartbreaking.
What is the quinth?
Fools,
Is it
that's not
really?
what the letter Q. Last of Us recap.
Start with the letter Q.
I didn't watch it yet because
Oh,
let me tell you something. I was fucking
Oh boy.
oh, we'll do it after Janine's
I'm
Minnesota
gonna leave.
recap. Then,
I'm
yeah,
gonna leave.
do your Minnesota recap. By the way,
Did you see it?
No, I forgot to mention this. If you want to watch Janine have an orgasm, it's in the members only area. So there
And
you
on
go.
OnlyFans too.
And on OnlyFans, it's cheaper though if you're a member. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, we got some behind the scenes clips from J Sabs in Minnesota. How was your trip? When did you get back? Yesterday?
Yes, I was supposed to get back at 1:00, and I didn't get back until 4:00.
Took those extra 3 hours for yourself.
No,
Come back
I-
and visit your
No.
shitty kids and your shitty roommate.
right. My flight got delayed 3 hours, so thankfully I knew when I was in my hotel room waiting,
Oh, nice.
and then
That's good.
I mean, it was good. Saturday was a very long day. Very, very interesting though, and inspiring. Meeting with the other chapter leaders. Look at me being all professional. And then at night, I thought we were going to a dinner theater, which I thought meant we're going to watch a play and eat dinner. We
Isn't that what
didn't
that
do
is?
that. No.
Okay.
We went and it was like an improv show, like a comedy improv show.
Oh boy.
So it was like,
I saw the clip you sent us.
yeah,
Oof,
yeah, it was like,
that was rough.
Whose line is it anyway? With 4 different people, and
Yeah,
I'd say some of the stuff was funny, but let me tell you something. I personally would love to do that. I think I would be good at that. I think because I'm quick.
should we do an improv show?
Oh yeah, let's go. Oh, we should do an
Three
improv
of
show.
us. We'll do like suggestions from the. I need a place in the audience. Will you give me a place?
All right, can I say something? Are
Go
those
ahead.
ever really all that funny?
No,
I mean,
I'm right.
Whose line is funny? Whose line they do a good job on that. But
okay,
it's all
listen.
edited, and they only pick the good stuff.
Is that
Yeah.
true?
I'm sure there's a
Probably, right?
lot that doesn't make it to air.
I think all those guys are funny. Colin, I think all those guys are hilarious, and they're probably
Yeah.
the best to ever
Brian
do
Stiles, Colin Mockery, Wayne Brady.
it.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But after a while, I mean, after 20 minutes of that stuff, is it really even good? I don't know how they had that show on for 14 years. That is like a 6-episode kind of a thing, and then you're like, all right.
Yeah,
that
I
was
know.
fun.
So they didn't bring anybody up on stage or anything, but it was 2 hours long, which I feel,
2 hours?
yeah.
That's a
Now-
long
That's rough.
time.
We got there at 6 and we didn't leave till 10. Sit down the whole time. I wanted to fucking die.
That's 4 hours, by the
Because-
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not 2 hours.
6 to 8,
What's
you
going on
ate
with your
dinner.
math?
From 8 to 10 was the show. And there was only a 10-minute intermission. And you know me, I cannot sit still. So my back was, right now my back and my neck are killing me, but mostly my neck. And I wanted to just be like, oh my God, I'm done. I can't pretend to laugh anymore. I gave up.
Did you leave? I would have just got the hell out of
No,
there.
I had to wait because we all went
She was with
together.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you a question, because this is the only way this is a true nightmare. Were all the other people laughing and having a good time?
Yes.
Oh, see, that's miserable. That's fucking miserable.
Oh, and you just look at them going,
Were you the only one from New York?
Obviously.
Okay. See, you have a superior palate for comedy. These
Yes.
other people in the middle of the country don't understand what it's like.
taking shots at the rest of the country.
I'm sorry,
Right.
but that's the truth.
Well,
Send
it
your
was-
hate mail this way, everyone.
It was funny because The place had a menu with drinks and food. The drinks, the waiter was like, here's the drinks. But if you want something different, we can make it for you. So I was like, okay. So I go, can I have an espresso martini? And the girl next to me was like, oh, that sounds so New York.
I saw that on Sex in the City.
Right. Honestly, that's exactly how I felt in the moment. I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, hold on 1 minute. And he comes back. He goes, well, we have the ingredients, but we can't really make it because we're making other drinks. What?
Oh my God, they didn't know how to make an espresso martini.
What does that mean?
And I wanted to say to him, if you
Google
want me to exactly, but if you want me to tell you how to make it, I can tell you how to make it. So I was like, all right, I'll just get this blue drink, whatever. I was just so tired at that point. I was just like, all right, whatever.
The only way I'm getting through that 2 hour the only way I'm getting through that 2 hour show is drunk. So I don't know.
Honestly,
give me the biggest, cheapest thing you got.
I was just
the fish
like,
bowl, whatever comes in the fish bowl. Give me that.
Yeah. It was okay.
Listen, my New York comment is the truth, because any one of us could go into the city right now and see, you'd name it. I mean, Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Louis C.K., like any one of these people just happens to stop into the local clubs in New York City. You can go see any top-notch comedian. When you're in Minnesota, they'll get one comedian a weekend coming into town to play the venue. Maybe they'll have two. Maybe one will be playing the club and the other one will be playing the theater or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, this is all local people. It's, to tell you the truth, it was a cute place. It was a huge place.
You guys didn't visit the strip clubs? What's going on?
You should have probably went to the strip club.
Probably. I would have had a better time. No. Honestly, if we would have just stayed at Caribou Coffee the whole night, free plug, I would have fucking been in my... I'm not even kidding you. Top 3 coffees I ever had in my life.
That's bold. What did you get?
Really?
First day I got it was like a hot caramel latte. Pretty good, because they didn't use too much milk, which is hard to do with the latte. Usually it's overpowered by milk, and I don't really take milk. Second day I got, which was yesterday.
That's not what I heard.
I got 4 shots over ice with caramel. They make their own caramel.
They make their own caramel?
They make their own caramel.
I just said
something.
The espresso was so...
I just said that.
On point. I told the guy, I was like, do you think you could come back to New York and just make coffee for me there all day? And he starts laughing.
But now... Go ahead. No, go.
Ahead.
You go.
And then I also tried their... Did I try their cold brew? Tried that cold brew at the airport. And
look at you, tripling
down. Ridiculously overpriced.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. They're expensive.
Are they the Starbucks or the Dunkin' Donuts of Minnesota?
They are the Starbucks of Minnesota because...
Really?
Yes. No donuts. They had breakfast sandwiches like Starbucks.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, are they high class, high quality, or are they trash?
Quality.
No, they're high class, high quality.
Okay, that's all. You're like, there's no donuts. I'm like, that's
not
part
of the
Starbucks
equation. Also.
What?
Was there Starbucks in the area also?
I did see one.
Okay.
Now, Caribou, though, isn't that a chain?
It is a chain, but only in... I think they have the most in Minnesota and then a few around those states. There's none over here.
All right, but you didn't want to go to the fucking, gentrified neighborhood to get that fucking liberally roasted, delicious espresso.
Honestly, when I was looking on Yelp, there was nothing like that where I was staying. And this was literally walking. I could walk to it. I didn't stay in a neighborhood, if that makes sense.
Were you in a conference center that was close to a mall that was next to the Chili's?
I stayed in a Holiday Inn which was next to like a little strip mall that had how about this? A drive-through Chipotle. They don't have those here. I've never seen a drive-through Chipotle. You know they mean business.
Big time.
That's a game changer.
Thank you, Kaylin. Caribou Coffee doesn't fuck around. She's right. They had a Jimmy John's.
What?
Which I never heard of before. They had someplace called a Burger.
Burger I've heard of.
Caribou Coffee. And then they also had this restaurant, which I went in Friday night, and I told you, I sat by myself there. And I told you the waitress was like, it's really busy here. You're going to have to wait 20 minutes. I was like, first of all, there ain't nothing. Honey, I'm from New York, all right? No, I didn't say it like that, but I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go.
We walk everywhere fast. Everything's in a hurry.
Right.
We're always in a hurry, but we'll wait an hour and a half for a table.
Exactly. So I just sat at the bar anyway, but that restaurant was actually pretty good. I have to say, that burrata that I had.
I have to tell you, that was a risk and a half going into Minnesota, acting like I know I can get the good burrata over here.
No, I didn't. Right.
Why not?
It's fucking Minnesota.
It's all farmland. That's farmland. You're gonna get good. The farms are all good. The cows, the dairy. You're gonna get good cheese out there.
Fucking Elvis country.
So it was like walking distance from the hotel.
That's cheese country, man.
Yeah.
Listen, if we're gonna have a cheese curd and melt it with gravy on top of fries, I'm not gonna argue with you. But burrata is an art.
It is, but they did it well.
Yeah,
and I have to say,
I trust the cheese.
Yes,
the cheese states to get them right.
It had pesto on it. Probably one of the most delicious pestos I've ever had in my life.
I don't want to burst your bubble here, but
I'm not kidding you.
Let me explain to you what happened. Okay, everything was heightened and wonderful because you didn't have your shitty kids or your shitty roommate or your shitty brother or shitty podcast co-hosts around. You were a free woman. Everything. Ask somebody who's been in jail for 30 years what that first fucking steak tastes like once they get out of the slammer. They're gonna say it's the best thing ever. That was you. Sitting here trying to tell me the pesto burrata in fucking Minnesota was delightful.
No, I'm not even kidding you. I was like, oh my God, like I was like thinking, is it just me or is this pesto really good? I hope it's not canned because then I'll really be embarrassed. No, it just tasted very good, very fresh. I actually got the salmon from there. And whoever said like, oh, I ain't trusting fish around Minnesota, they have so many lakes, people.
Yeah, like you could trust fish in Minnesota.
Lakes, rivers.
So the salmon
you're all right out there. I think you can get good food in Minnesota. Again, farmlands. I'm sure you're gonna get good red meat.
No. We went through the list. You named like 42 things, and there was like 2 recognizable, probably might be good items on Minnesota cuisine.
Yeah, those were the things that they're known for. But I think you'd get a good steak there. I'm sure they have excellent farms where you can get I'm sure the steaks are like right down the road.
Yep.
I'm sure they're not shipping in steaks from other states.
And you get an okay steak, I bet. They're too busy worrying about the power play and who's going to plow tomorrow. That's all they're concerned with over there to make a good meal.
Well,
I'll tell you one thing they beat us with. It snowed 17 inches. Pesto and pesto burrata and plows because it snowed 17 inches and the roads were completely clear. So, damn,
they're
we
on
got to
top
get
of
that
stuff out. They
we
get
got to
it
get
every
better
day.
at that, man. It's like,
well, when you get an inch of snow a year, we're not going to be the best at it. The last couple of years, we've got almost nothing of snow.
Yeah,
snowing right now.
Did say,
tonight it's snowing right now, but I guarantee it's going to be an inch or 2, and that's the only thing we've gotten all year. It's February.
I know
we haven't gotten anything this whole winter,
and
so it's different.
They said when it snows, people stay off the road so the plows can do what they need to do. And I'm like, oh, that's why it doesn't work in New York because we don't like to listen to that.
Yeah,
we're like, we got this.
Yeah, not to mention the fact Yeah. Plus, we're all parked on the street. Nobody. You got 5 cars per house, and the houses are on top of each other.
Yeah.
All the cars are in the street, and they can't plow anything. I'm sure in Minnesota the houses are further apart. The roads are a lot clearer.
It sounds like they're a bit more intelligent than we are. Here in New York, though, we're
I know
like
what they're doing.
we're like 14 inches of snow in 26 minutes. We could be. I got a fucking Hyundai. I'll be fine. I'll be
Right.
just fine. I got a
Suddenly
Honda
I have-
Accord. I could do it.
Suddenly, I have to go to Dunkin' Donuts.
I
That's
gotta
my
get
thing.
Dunkin'.
That's my thing. I'm like, fuck. I really want now. I really want coffee before it starts to snow.
Or,
You got a
or
truck,
you make
I'm good.
the you make the what's it called guy deliver it to you. I'm not gonna, it's too dangerous to go. Why don't you just call, get it delivered? It's too dangerous to go out there. We'll have the delivery guy risk his life for my pizza.
Frank, do you believe her that this food was that good, or do you think my theory is more correct, that she is just a free person for once in her life?
I think there's something to your theory, but I could believe the food being okay there. The menu, from what you showed us, it looked decent. It didn't look like, a dump. The kind of place looked like.
Are you talking about this? The first night, what did you send us a picture of? I forget. That looked decent. Was that the burrata?
Yep. Hold on.
Yeah, it looked like the menu items looked okay. It looked like the chefs could handle some stuff.
Yeah, this was okay. This looks okay. This is serviceable.
Hold
right?
on. The place I went to was cold.
That's
Hold on.
Jimmy's.
Jimmy's Kitchen and Bar.
Jimmy likes his chicken spicy.
That's decent. That's decent looking. A little
if you look at the
slapdash
menu,
with the
if you look at the menu,
balsamic
I
vinegar,
think
but
you would
other
like
than that,
it.
looks good.
Right.
I don't think Frank can hear us. I think Frank's on like a second delay.
I'm on a little bit of a delay.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Janine. What were you gonna say?
Jimmy's Kitchen and Bar in Minnesota. Look at the menu, and I think that there was some interesting items that looked good.
Yeah. Okay. But can I just say something here? Upon a closer look, the pesto that's on the mozzarella is actually on the spinach as well. Is that necessary? No.
It's not
That's
spinach. It is arugula.
That's spinach. I hate to tell you.
That's not arugula.
It's arugula.
You got that's spinach. There might be some arugula in there, but that is definitely spinach.
It was not spinach.
You know it's arugula when it looks like stuff that they pull off the parkway on the side of the road.
Yeah.
That's arugula.
I love arugula. You don't like it?
It looks like weeds. It's
Now,
great.
what was
I love it.
What was the
That's what
name
it
of the
looks like.
second place you went to? Because that was, I won't even show this photograph.
Ugh.
It was so horrific.
That's a dinner theater.
You see, that's a mistake. Whose idea was the dinner theater? Because they should be removed from their position.
It was the girl in charge
goes
of
way
the
back.
conference.
It was the girl in charge of the what?
Conference. She wanted to do something different.
Yeah. Strip club. Strip club's different.
That's true.
Go to a real
I'll tell
restaurant.
you, when we went, I did we had to go to Chicago for a job, a big conference, radio conference. And we all got together and we're like, what are we going to do? We want to do something different.
Yeah.
They have a thing out there. I haven't seen it anywhere except Chicago. It's called Whirly Ball. You ever hear of it?
No.
Oh, God. It sounds horrible already.
It's so much fun. You're in bumper cars and you're on like a basketball court, and you have in your hand, you're holding like the top half of a lacrosse stick, the netting, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you're throwing wiffle balls.
So a lacrosse stick?
It's one No. It's not the whole pole. It's just the top half.
Okay.
The top part. You're holding like the netting in your hand, a little piece. And you're driving with one hand you're driving the bumper car. The other hand you got the net in your hand, and there's one wiffle ball in play, and you have to get. It's 5 versus 5 on 5. You have to get, and you got to hit. There's like a backboard basketball. There's like a basketball backboard, and you got to hit it, and that's how you score a point. And the alarms and whistles go off, and the whole time you're bumper carring everybody. It's a lot of fun. I wish they had it over here. It's so much fun.
That's some Midwest shit right there. That is, they had to develop that. I mean, it sounds exciting, but that's what you have to do when you have literally nothing else to do.
I got to tell you, they had it in this place. It's a place that has like bowling and arcade games and a bar and all this food and stuff. So we went there and they had these 2 or 3 courts with whirly ball, and it's just a huge basketball court. And it's surrounded by the bumper car rim and everything, and you're just driving around. It's a lot of fun. If anybody that gets a chance to head out to Chicago, I don't know if they have it anywhere else, but whirly ball, it's really cool.
They have it anywhere
you need
where
a bunch of people though. You need like 10 people.
They have it anywhere where they said the phrase, "We have to stop this cow tipping, and we got to come up with something else." That's where they have
Save the cows, play some whirly ball.
Fucking Minnesota.
Fun,
I'm telling you, this chicken that poor Janine had. I'm surprised she's alive. We should have asked.
Chicken didn't look great.
It looked, it was horrible looking. And then
Can we show it.
I refuse. I won't put our people through it. She sent us the menu, and the menu is famous chicken. I don't even know what it is. Something Jansen. I'm not sure. This is a glare on the menu.
What?
Oven roasted, skinless chicken breast, Minnesota wild rice dressing, fresh seasonal vegetables, signature hollandaise sauce. Let me explain something to the people. Hollandaise sauce has no business being on a chicken. Ever.
Yeah, there's literally like one use for hollandaise sauce.
And it is Eggs Benedict. Correct. You are correct, sir. It's not chicken. What was the wild rice thing? The Minnesota wild rice. Do you remember?
It's like seeds. It's not really rice.
Correct.
It's like
That's what it was.
seeds or something.
I remember it was something odd and weird and bizarre. Seeds. Yeah. Fucking weirdos.
But it's a big hit out there.
The other option was
one of their things.
The vegan Impossible loaf. Okay, let me just say this too. Here's the menu.
That's what I call you.
I'll show them. What?
Nothing.
I'll show the menu.
You can barely see that.
You can barely see it, but you see there's 2 rows there, right?
Vegetable lasagna.
Here's the thing about menus. The top. This is a weird thing that people do. The top and the bottom people read. The middle they don't read. You might get to it.
You nuts.
I swear to God. If you notice this, you pick up a menu, you look at the first thing, you might read the second, and then you skip down to the bottom, and then you go back up. That's what everybody does. So the most popular items.
That's maybe what you do.
That's what everybody does. So the items that they're trying to sell the most are in those positions, and the stuff that they don't really need to sell, like a steak, is always in the middle. The top item here is
goes in order. It goes in order of appetizers, soup, salad. Then it's all the different entrees, and then the dessert.
No, but I'm saying when you're looking at appetizers,
like if you're looking under. Okay, the first thing, the top number 1 thing is the best thing, or something that they're trying to push,
or they make the most money on.
Might not be the best thing,
or most popular. Whatever it is.
That's what I thought you meant in the whole menu.
No. In each individual section. On the top here, they have the vegan Impossible loaf. Impossible meat blended with fresh vegetables and Minnesota wild rice, roasted mushroom gravy, roasted potatoes, fresh seasonal vegetables. What fucking seasons are there in Minnesota? They have winter and spring. That's it. There's no real summer.
Pumpkin? I mean, is that a winter thing with squash?
Pumpkin. Might have been the funniest thing you said all episode. Pumpkin.
Thank you. Pumpkin. They put a whole squash on your plate.
Pumpkin season. That's it. Yeah, it's just, I mean, the whole fucking cowboy chop set. Like, this just looks terrible. Pasta Primavera. I mean,
I'm forever full after the risotto.
I forever think of Poppy when I hear Pasta Primavera. Anyway, God bless her. I'm surprised she survived. I really hold true. I don't think that food was that great, but it probably tasted great because she was having the time of her life.
The first one looked decent. The plate that you showed with the burrata looked okay.
It looked okay. Yeah, I will say it looked okay. It did look okay. Last of Us recap very quickly. Spoiler alerts. Frankie,
you didn't see it, right? You didn't see it?
I saw it. Janine didn't see it.
Oh, you did see it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It's one of those episodes where they go a little bit back in time. Spoiler alerts. I'm not gonna ruin it for anybody. It aired yesterday. So I'll just say I enjoyed it. It focused on one of the two main characters for the most part, and it was like a telling of stuff we wanted to know. I think, in my opinion, like we wanted to know how something occurred, and we kind of got an answer. You know, and it left it with a cliffhanger a little bit. I thought it was a decent episode. What did you think?
I hated it.
I knew you would.
Yeah, hated it. And I love this show, but this is the first time they sopranoed us, where they were like, we know what you want to know, and we're just not going to give it to you. So we left the last episode. We left the last episode, full spoilers. We left the last episode not knowing if Joel was alive or not.
Right.
We come back to this one.
They still carried that story in this one. And it ended. You saw the end of last night's episode. It was,
yes.
It ended with a resolution with that.
Yes. Listen, I get it. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying in the overall arc of things,
just so you know, we got people jumping ship in the chat.
Yeah, that's okay. That's why we saved it to the end. Everybody can go. In the overall arc of do we need this? I didn't feel like we did, because basically what they were telling us was this poor young girl lost somebody before, and now she's not going to lose Joel, which I could appreciate and understand.
Yes, but it also gave you an insight into why she doesn't like the
Fireflies.
I forget the name of the organization. No.
It's the
both.
Fireflies.
Well, why she doesn't like the Fireflies, but also it gave you an insight onto what's going on with, what's it called, Fedra?
Yeah, Fedra.
The people that it gives you a little insight into what they do. I mean, it wasn't a pointless episode. The Sopranos Paris episode was pointless. This, at least it moved some stuff where it gave you information you didn't have.
No, but I meant that
in terms of how they ran things.
I mean the Sopranos thing by like they know the answer we want, and they are just not going to give it to us over the course of the entire
I'll give
episode.
you. Yes, it lost points on that. That I'll give you. They left us in the previous episode with an unanswered question, and they kind of jerked us around for this episode through the whole thing.
It was a big jerk.
I get that.
Yeah.
It was a big jerk of the thing. But in this episode, there was a lot of suspense. There was some good, a lot of cool moments. I thought it was, if they didn't have that part that jerked us around, the episode itself was still kind of decent.
Yeah. Because I felt like you could have had that flashback and you could have done it in 12 minutes versus 48.
Yeah, they did drag it out.
And I get it. It's another one of those moments of like, here it is. Here's the world. I mean, there was some fun parts. Like, what was the thing like she had never experienced before? Oh, an escalator. That was kind of fun when she was like, holy shit, moving stairs.
Playing the video games. They had the whole mall to themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was kind of cool, to live like the world is abandoned, but they got this whole inside world to kind of, but even that was not secure,
I know. And
so it was still kind of exciting.
That's what makes the show depressing and also so great at the same time, where you're like, fucking, we can never get out unscathed. It could never go our way. We're losing chunks of our soul every fucking episode.
It's true.
Which is what kind of makes it great.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's not, I mean, there are shows out there that are just complete downers. Like every second something's going wrong and there's no upsides at all. I feel like Mayor of Easttown. I don't know if you ever saw that one. It's It's with Kate Winslet, and she's a cop in Pennsylvania. That show, great show, but there was never a positive moment in the whole show. It was just all just so like depressing. This, it kind of mixes it. There's positives, there's negatives, a lot more negatives than positive, but there's still some a couple episodes ago there was the town that they with the brother and all that. So there's a lot of positives in this, but I think it's a healthy mix.
And don't get me wrong, I didn't hate it from a standpoint of I'm never going to watch the show again. No, like this hate comes with love. Like I just hated that we went through this whole episode of like, I don't know yet if they're any closer to their goal.
Right. It didn't move the story along. It was
not really.
Yeah, it was a flashback. The whole episode is a flashback for the 95% of the episode. But I feel like most of it was, needed information, and then they just peppered it with more story and more filler. You're right, but it was entertaining. I thought, it was fun. Kids running through a mall. It was kind of cool.
It was. But and the other thing too is I feel like they even bailed on the flashback because it's like, how did she get there? Like I wasn't sure if it was a Fedra school to begin with, or if that was just regular school. If that's what just normal life was.
We got that whole thing when she talked to the captain or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we assumed, but who's to know if that's like, my question is there a regular school in town where they're just teaching the kids and this is the military school, or this is what school is now?
I think that's what school is. Because they never talk about regular school, because remember in one of the episodes, there was an underground school.
Right.
In the sewer system, there was like this classroom that was kind of abandoned.
Right. And I will say the one thing about this episode that makes you it makes it very evident and clear. You look at this, which is an interesting conversation to have in our world right now. But you look at this freedom versus safety issue, which we literally just went through, right? I mean, that's pandemic was freedom versus safety.
Right.
And you see it there where you're like, why are they living under this Fedra? Why are they consenting to all this? It kind of seems stupid. Everybody's miserable. Everybody's unhappy. When you look at it, these two go sneak off, and what happens? They get infected. Like you almost have to live by those rules.
I get it, but the problem with it is the Fedra, the way they're running it, it's like kind of just draconian. It's very.
But what choice do they have when people don't?
Right.
When people don't respect the rules and they wander off, they get infected.
Well, look at the other choice is the way the brothers living across the country.
Right.
They have that nice community where everybody works and participates and contributes, and there's people that run it and people that are in charge, but they're not like training army people. It's not like military. It's very friendly, it seems, and peaceful.
Which is interesting too, because you're really a product of your surroundings, because there is no infected there, and there is no other threat. What the other threat is, the natural. There's none of that.
Well, there's some of it. They said, you go that way, you're going to run into it. We're hidden here, sure, but they get the occasional. I mean, they're in the middle of nowhere, sure, but they get the occasional people that come by, and occasional. I mean, again, it's nothing like the big cities.
Right.
In the middle of the mountains, but still.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the better way to live, the way they were doing it.
It's funny too, because my wife keeps asking, like, why are these people, like, why is everybody trying to shoot and kill each other? And it's like, it's true. Like, she makes a good point, but when you look at it and you're just like, these people are just out for survival. I mean,
yeah,
they can't trust anybody.
From.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people out there, they're going to rob you, take your shit because they need to survive. That's where it comes. That's what it comes down to. You
can't control people in crowds or people when they panic. That's really what it is.
It's a bitch of a thing. When there's no rules, people are just gonna, it's survival of the fittest. Whoever takes your shit, that's it. You gotta watch out. Protect your stuff.
Yeah, it's weird to think that we're. You make fun of I think Seinfeld had this bit where it's like, the Kardashians and who cares really? But it's like These things are distracting us from just savagely killing each other. You know what I mean?
It's like, my life sucks. Your life sucks.
Yeah.
My life sucks too. Maybe not as much as yours, but
it's like you got your rules and your Kardashian show, and you have a dinner and you go to bed. You wake up the next morning, you do it all over again.
if we didn't have any of that, we'd be like, this is fucking. What are we doing? We need some. It's entertainment. We need to be entertained.
We would be in The Last of Us if we didn't have this shit. We'd be fucking savagely murdering each other.
You call it distractions. That's for comedy's sake. They call it distraction, but it's entertainment. You need that kind of stuff in your life, like this.
Yes.
We're entertainment.
Again, if you want to see Janine in a pure orgasmic moment from her trip in Minnesota, go to the members area. That is up for the members right now. If you're not a member, you can easily join. Link in the description below or at the homepage of anthonyonair.com. Join up now for $2.99 a month. That's the lowest level. You just support the podcast. It's a great thing to have that keeps us going. You can, of course, do higher levels, be a part of our bigger shows like the 420 show, which is coming up, and some of those other big shows that we have. That's all part of the whole members thing. So just join up now while you can. Frankie, see, you got anything else?
I'm good on my end. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Lots of members there. Appreciate the support. You guys rock. And that's all I got.
There you go. Don't savagely murder anybody. Don't be Joel.
Yeah, don't do that.
What's the girl's name? I forget.
Ellie?
Ellie.
Show me potato salad.
You're good, you. You're good.
Maybe we should go now.